Hey, it's me again, Teacher Melissa, and this is a bit of a longer video today, so bear with me and hang in there and listen to me to the end before you make any judgment calls, because today I'm going to give you my 8 reasons to click the Start Class button long before it counts down to 0. Now, I am not advocating that you actually start class with a student early. I never start class with a student early. If I click the start class button ahead of time, I personally have like a little piece of paper that I can cover up my camera and I'll mute my mic. I've seen other teachers have the little toilet paper roll or a welcome slide that they'll put up. So I am not saying to you that I want you to start the lesson or even converse, talk with the student before that class timer clicks down to 0. But if at all possible, if I've got time, I'm going to click the start class button early so that I can take care of some administrative stuff before I start class with the student. Now, don't worry about clicking it early. It doesn't start your class timer. When you click start class before the class time, it just keeps counting down to 0. And then at 0, it starts counting up with your class time. So don't worry about that. It'll just keep counting down. So if I can click it a minute or so early, then I'm golden, because these are the things that I am going to do. First of all, it allows, number one, to allow your lesson slides to load. And it gives you that few extra seconds to load the lesson time, especially if you're teaching during those peak times when lots of people are on the app and it might take a few extra seconds. It's great to just go ahead and let those load. Let you know if you've got a problem loading. You can exit the app and get back in really quick, but it does give you those few extra seconds. Number two, if I click start class and my student is already there, but I've got it covered, sometimes I will hear the student going, hello, teacher, hello, and I don't want them to click teacher. I can't see the teacher. I'll type in the chat box, hello, class will start at 7 o'clock or whatever time class starts. So that covers me. If the fireman pops in, they'll know that the student can see me just fine. I just haven't uncovered my camera yet. But if the student is already logged on and is online, I will be able to look at my ping in the app and make sure my ping is okay. Usually it's fine. Anything under 100 is great. I can teach anything under 100 on ping is what you're shooting for. But sometimes it shoots up high when I first go into a classroom. So I'm going to show you a couple slides here, a couple screenshots from a recent class. You can see I clicked start early, and my ping I was not happy with. It was up in the red, the orange. I was not happy with that. All I did was quickly refresh, click refresh on the class, and this next screenshot is just a couple seconds later. My ping was able to drop back down. I've noticed sometimes when I enter class from a previous class, if I'm doing back to back, that the ping will shoot up like that. Sometimes I need to switch lines. Sometimes line 8 works great for me. Sometimes I need to switch to line 5, but clicking start class early, if the student is there, allows me to see the ping before the class counts down to 0, so I can take care of that administrative thing. Another thing you can do is you can check your settings. So again, sometimes when I'm entering from another class, the next classroom will grab my camera that is in my laptop, and I have an external camera that really helps with my lighting and gives me a really good wide view. So I can check and see real quick, gives me a few extra seconds to click on the setting, make sure I've got the right camera grabbed, and to maybe check my mic settings. Is it picking up my headphone mic and not the internal mic on my computer? You can hear I'm using my internal mic on my, actually I'm using the mic on my external camera right now, so it sounds a little bit not quite so clear. So it'll give me a chance to check that in the classroom if I want to make sure I'm using the right mic. I can just unmute it for a second, and I'll just like go tap. I'll just so I can see if the mic thing is moving. I don't speak because then the student expects me to start teaching class. Okay, another reason that I click start class early on is every single trial. Many trials, not all, depends on what app the customer's using, but many trials will have, as you can see, this screen that pops up that has a lot of phrases in Chinese. Those are written to the parents and the student. I can't remember exactly what they all say, but they welcome to VIP Kid. You can use your mouse or your finger to draw on the screen. You can drag and drop. So it gives them a few pointers about how to interact with the platform to the trial parents and the trial student if they're old enough to read and understand those directions. This has been great. Click on it early and give them a chance to read those Chinese instructions without you already being on camera, and then they don't know, should they look at the teacher, should they be reading what's on the screen, and they're nervous. It's a trial. So I give them peace and quiet with me not in their view to read those trial instructions. If a student is there for a trial and the parents like not sitting right there, they know class is going to start in a moment or two, I will often see the trial student, Mama, Mama, and they'll come over and Mom will read and show them a couple things. So it's worked out really great for me to start it early, to click the button for those trial classes. Here's another thing you can do. Go ahead and click Start Class and play around with the stickers, especially if it's a no-show. Gives you a chance to download any that are new or that you haven't downloaded yet, especially in the no-shows. So gives you a chance to play with those stickers, to download them. Once you download them, pretty much most of the time they're downloaded for good unless there's an app update or something. So that download will stick for the next few classes. So play with a little bit of the stickers, and if the student shows, that's no issue. They'll just think you're funny and cute. So another thing that I think is important is to give our students the courtesy of letting them adjust their mindset to class. They might have been logged on 5 minutes ahead of time. They're not going to just sit there staring at the screen. They're going to do some of the same things we do. They're checking on their phone. They're watching a TV show. I don't do that, but I do check my phone. They are playing a computer game. They're working on their math homework. They're eating, trying to eat, again, like we do. They're trying to eat something or drink something really fast. So when I click Start Class, but keep everything covered, that gives them a moment or two to finish that up. I'll see them finish eating, take a drink really quick. I'll see them play the last few seconds of the video game, and then helps them kind of settle into the class, to the class time. My older ones will yell at Mom, get out of the room, and leave. The younger ones will yell, Mama, in a panic, and Mom will come running in and sit down and be ready to support them in class. So I give them the courtesy of that extra few seconds, if I can, to shift from whatever they were doing to, it's time for class. And you know, a great thing is if your student is there, the last tip that I have is it's just fun to see their smiling face, happy to see you. Sometimes I just need that little boost. Maybe I've had a challenging class, or maybe I didn't get enough sleep last night, and I'll click Start Class early and I'll just gaze at their happy faces, ready to see me. Sometimes I'll see a little girl with a happy little wiggle and a dance. This boy that I'm showing you right now, love this guy. When I'll see him playing other things, but when I click Start Class early and my camera's closed, I will see him go, yes! He's excited and eager to learn English, to speak to a friend across the ocean. So that sometimes they're making funny faces, they're up in the camera, and then I get to really see their personality. Sometimes even they're a little sad, and I'll get to see that and kind of gauge their mood before they quickly put on their game face for class. So just that tiny little glimpse into their life and their home, their relationship, a quick hug from mom and a kiss on the head, and then mom scoots off camera, lets me know she's there and supportive. There's so much that you can see with a few second peek into their world before you uncover your camera and say hello. So try these out. Let me know below in the comments if you've tried any of these things and they work for you, or if there are other things that you have discovered that are great to work on, administrative or things that you can do when you click the Start Class button a little bit early and take care of these things as the timer continues to count down. Have a great day. Another great reason to click the Start Class early is when you have a student who is doing their final unit assessment. I will often pull up this slide in the 30 seconds, 45 seconds before class to remind the student that their project is due that day. So my students almost always do their projects. If you want to see how I make that happen, head on over to my YouTube channel and see how I explain the unit assessment final projects to my students in lesson 5, 6, and 11 so that they almost all bring it. But sometimes I will see oh, yes, and they have to jump out of their chair and run get it from the other room, or they're very busy looking at it and they're getting ready. Or occasionally I see a big panic look and they're grabbing a pen and they're drawing or writing their project really quick. Fine with me, but I want to give them a few seconds to prepare and remind them that they need to give me their project.